Welcome to GamecocksScoop.com, home of the South Carolina Gamecocks on Rivals.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on all your favorite podcast apps and on every social media at Rivals Gamecock. Welcome back. My name is Pauline Hendricks, host of the Short Sports Scoop presented by GamecocksScoop.com. And I am here with my new host, Ford Pugh. What's going on?
Hey, Pauline. Thanks for introducing me. Happy to be here.
Of course, of course. So, to start off, in case y'all missed it, last night, class of 2023 power forward Gigi Jackson, who is the number one men's basketball recruit, announced his decommitment from UNC, which is some super big news. It's a really big deal because there is rumors that he may potentially become a Gamecock, but just speculations at the moment. Y'all should keep up with the website. We have constant updates, and you'll be able to follow Gigi's story. But it is big news. So we found this out from our Rivals affiliate, Tar Heel Illustrated, who were the first to originally hint at Gigi's departure. But what's really interesting was that UNC was Gigi's quote unquote dream school. I
hmm
don't know. Do you think he's lying?
I think a part of him always wanted to stay home. I saw like the energy at Colonial Life a few times he visited and whatnot. People like chanting his name, and I think that's appealing to him. But it's hard to turn away playing at UNC. I think for them, it's kind of an internal error. They kind of messed up, kind of over distributing their scholarships and whatnot. So it's kind of led him to have to make a tough decision and potentially come home to South Carolina or pursue other options. But either way, it looks like he's not going to be a Tar Heel. So
Well, he could be a hometown hero, which is kind of the vibe that we're getting because our future cast predicts that he has a 67% chance of committing to University of South Carolina.
yeah.
Hey, that's more than half. So I mean, I'm confident with that number. I don't know,
Especially when it's coming
considering.
from I saw I think it was like the Duke Insider. Obviously he's probably biased. Having no decommit from UC, but I saw it was like it wasn't just like South Carolina people. It was other schools and like national people kind of talking about it and dropping their predictions and whatnot. So I feel like we're in a good spot. It's just a waiting game.
Well, there was always talk that there was a potential he would be a kind of one and done type player
But
because his whole reason behind it is he wants to grow and explore other options to potentially lead him to the NBA. But it was between like reclassing, transferring, and going the professional route. But do you think because this is my whole thing, because he's coming to USC, we have not heard University U of SC, because we have not heard much from the basketball team with the new coaching staff and everything. This is really the first super big news we've gotten that kind of hints that maybe we have something cooking. I don't really know. What do you think?
yeah, I definitely think this staff's been pretty quiet. I think they've been busy. They've had a lot of ground to kind of track up and catch up. They've just been kind of behind the eight ball in terms of like getting started as a new staff. So for them, they kind of walked in into a bad situation where Gigi like committed elsewhere, and he was pretty locked in with the previous staff. So for me, I think they're doing a really good job of kind of keeping it in house and staying connected with the family and like establishing those relationships with both his parents and whatnot. And from everything I've read, it's a big part of his recruitment and whatnot is his mom and dad and making sure his family situation is kind of set up. So I'm doing a really good job of just establishing those ties and staying on them about staying home and really building this thing from the ground up and changing the narrative of hometown kids staying home for South Carolina and putting this program on the map. So for sure,
I
I
I
it's
feel
all
like we see stories like that all the time, and I feel like this is the new wave coming into South Carolina athletics is just the whole like home team vibe, the family
true.
vibe, all of that. And I love
And
to hear that you said that.
Yeah, I think one of the honestly the main things from the staff. I mean, just being from Columbia, I know this guy. One of the assistant coaches he hired named Kerry Rich, and that guy's like the godfather of like South Carolina high school basketball. He knows. I mean, he played here obviously. I think in the early '90s. He was a point guard here, and I mean, Lamont Parrish hired him on as like a recruiting coordinator or something, like head of basketball operations, something like that. And I think he's going to be pretty integral in terms of keeping kids home and building those relationships. Just as he knows every high school coach and every AAU program. I mean, he knows everybody. Like I said, he's kind of the godfather of high school basketball in the states. So I mean, I think he's done a lot of good in terms of maintain that relationship with Gigi and other top prospects in the state of South Carolina. So.
I can't deny that. And again, these are all rumors, but hopefully he'll bring in some key players like Gigi to hopefully put us somewhere on the map because I don't really think we're on the map right now.
Not at all. Kid hiring Kerry Rich on the staff, I think it's really important to keep these kids home. We've missed a lot of previous kids in the state of South Carolina from going to other schools. Obviously with Zion, John Morant, Julian Phillips, LSU last year, Devontae Shuler from Ole Miss. I mean, a lot of these kids grew up in South Carolina. Grew up rooting for the Gamecocks, but went somewhere else. So to hire him as officially part of the staff, and he's been doing a lot of recruiting for South Carolina, even when he wasn't, an administrator on the team. So for him to bring him in, I think that's a really important move in terms of keeping these kids in state and really showing what South Carolina basketball is about, and kind of changing the narrative. So
I didn't realize there was that many players that turned our back on us. That's crazy.
it's sick, right?
Turned their back. It's fine, but still, that's crazy. But that seems like
A lot of
hopefully he
talent
will
in
be a
the state,
good resource.
no doubt.
I
There's a lot of talent in the state.
I know. I mean, being from Connecticut, I don't know too much about the basketball talent down here, but our basketball team back in high school up north, we were so good.
I hear
So, I mean, I would like to have the same energy down here at least.
for sure.
But we are going to switch over because I mean, Gigi Jackson is huge news and we could talk about him all day. But because this is the short sports scoop, we're going to hop to our fun segment, which we're going to do our season predictions. So on gamecockscoop.com right now, we have up to the Georgia game, our season preview predictions. And we will keep updating those as the weeks go on and we get closer and closer. We're only 50 days away, which is really exciting.
Yeah,
But me and Ford have decided to um, see how we think we're going to do this season. So our first game is the Georgia State game, and it is a night game, and it's
mhm,
home. W, obviously.
sure. Yeah, we're playing Sean Elliott. He's a head coach at Georgia State. He was an interim head coach after Spurrier left, so he's got some South Carolina ties here. So,
Ooh, I did
um,
not know that.
I don't want to say like a warm up game by any means because Georgia State's pretty good. I think they made it to a bowl game last year, but I mean we should win them. We should beat them handily.
Okay, we say that, and I feel like we've had a couple warm up games last season that were not warm up games at all, like ECU,
Yeah, for sure.
Tennessee. Tennessee was not really a warm up game, but I definitely think we were a little more cockier than we
I
should
think we
have been.
their warm up. Unfortunately, we got smacked.
We really did. It was so bad. Oh my goodness. We do play them again, second to last game of the season. So we'll debate that once we get down the list. But our second one is at Arkansas. So you said lose. I said win. Why?
I don't know. I mean, I just think it's the first rate test. That's a tough place to play too. I mean, they're just as passionate about their football, I think, as we are. I mean, that's really the only thing they got going for them in Arkansas. It's like their sports and their school and whatnot. So for them, it means a lot. I mean, they got their quarterback KJ Jefferson back. They got a lot of dudes from the portal that are good. I don't know. I just thought it'd be a tough test, and I mean, I think it'll be a close game because I think we're very similar in terms of kind of what we have, especially with confident quarterback play and a lot of people coming back. But I just think it'll be too tough. It'll be a game where we learn a lot for sure. I think that will really dictate the rest of the season how it goes. So
That's actually a good take on that. I do think there's a couple games in here that are definitely going to at least kind of give us a more of an accurate place or like ranking among the teams in SEC, especially because first year with Shane Beamer, like obviously we had so much fun and we were all hyped about it, but like it's obviously the first year, so people are still like getting used to everything. So this season, like hopefully we'll be able to get a better gist about it, I guess. But first off, shout out to Eli Henderson because he is currently playing there. He's a freshman, and I interviewed him for the South Carolina Football Hall of
yeah,
Fame
he's from
last
Burnt,
year.
isn't he? Is he
Yeah,
from?
he's a big dude. Like he is massive, but he is a very nice kid. Hope you're doing well if you see this. But I said win, even though I hope you're doing well. I still want to beat you, but I said win because kind of to your reasoning, in a sense, it's more of a learning game, but I'm a half glass full type of girl, so
Yeah.
I'm looking on the
I hope, I
positive
hope
end
I'm
of
wrong.
things.
I really hope I'm wrong. I really do.
I hope you're wrong too. But one of the other reasons why I gave them a W was because the next weekend we play Georgia.
Yeah,
And I would have loved to give them an L or and have us win, but
it's just
we're not
tough.
gonna.
We're just.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
looking not great.
I mean, I think we'll play 'em much better this year, and I mean, I don't know. I mean,
It's always like
last year they were
50-50 though.
overmatched, but I mean, I thought we didn't really quit or anything. I thought we played the best we could. That was just, I mean, they're national champions for a reason. But I mean, I
Oh,
think
for
it'll
real.
be a close one. I mean, I think a noon game's tough. I mean, I think it will be hot, and both teams might come out slow, and I might have some more tape on them because obviously it's Stetson Bennett and a bunch of those guys coming back, but they're just loaded. They can put it all together again. It's gonna be hard to stop them.
No, I know. I don't know though, like I said, it's like 50-50 always with them, and I mean, clearly they're amazing last year, but, um, this kind of will tie into my reasoning, why I put what I put for Clemson for the last game, but I'll reveal that later. So, next week after, we have Charlotte at home. We
Good
don't know
win.
what time. I easy W, hopefully, like
So
knock on wood. I do not want to jinx us.
we should win for sure.
And
Yeah,
then
man.
SC State.
Yeah, I mean, NC State, they beat Jackson State, like Dion's team last year. I mean, they're always like good for like for an FBS team or whatever it is, like non-power five team. But I mean, we should beat them again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think it'll be like a better game than Charlotte would be. I think they'll push
Yeah,
us a little harder and it'll be a little
yeah,
closer, but I still think we will.
ski team and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I agree. And Kentucky, we gotta get that. We gotta get over that.
I
Um,
know, for real.
I bet that'll be a night game, honestly.
What'd you
Depending,
say?
I bet that'll be a night game, depending on how things play out. So, I mean, I know it was last year at home because we were both in the stadium. And it was rocking
I
and forced like 4 turnovers and couldn't get it done. So this year we gotta get over the hump. I mean, I just think we're just better than them. We shouldn't be losing to
I
Kentucky.
know, I agree for real. Like honestly, it's not embarrassing, but like
Yeah,
I know it's something that we're very capable of.
no doubt for sure.
So we're
And
not
man,
playing Texas. We're not playing Texas, the new school in the SEC. We're playing Texas A&M. But Texas A&M though, put it as a loss.
yeah,
Um,
I just think especially they had like the number 1 recruiting class last year, and I mean they trounced us last year, and I mean I think they just. I mean, obviously their quarterback plays a little in question, but they should beat us just from a talent perspective. So,
they have a really
yeah.
good
And
defense.
then
Um,
Missouri. I think we beat Missouri this year. I mean, obviously, I mean, there's a lot of circumstances last year in terms of. I mean, our defense didn't play great. We had Jason Brown was like a second game starting, so I mean, on the road it was just a tough environment. But Missouri's another one of those teams we shouldn't be losing to.
I
No
think it's
doubt.
like a Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean, we should beat
Very
them.
much capable. Why
No
aren't
doubt.
we doing it?
No
It's
doubt.
because we get cocky. That's what I say all the time. I know we're the Gamecocks, but we get super cocky. We think we're really good.
Yeah.
And then we'll go into this real hot, and then we'll get rattled by like the third quarter. So like that needs to stop. But
It's TC. You can stay grounded for sure.
for real. Um, Next one, Vandy. I swear on my life, if we don't win this, like I might as well like quit my job.
We'll beat
Like
Vandy.
there's no reason. There's no reason.
Yeah.
Florida, okay. Ooh, interesting. So you put W.
Yeah, I did. Um,
Interesting.
I mean, obviously, I think last year, I mean, obviously, it was a big win, beating 40-17. I mean, I don't want to say it was a fluke because I think we had a good game plan, and they were pretty like injury riddled, and dominoes are falling with like their coach, on the verge of getting fired and stuff. But I don't know. I mean, I think it's a game we definitely could lose. It's tough playing at Florida anytime. You play in the swamp, but I mean, first year
Mm.
new head coach Billy Napier. Um, I don't know. I mean, I think we'll have 8-9 games under our belt. It's the 10th game of the year. We should have a good rhythm. Barring any injury or anything, we should be all on the same page here. I
And
just think,
honestly, we do get our two games. We get our two toughest games out of the way, but I still put them as an L
yeah, for
just
sure,
because it's always back and forth. And honestly, I feel like we're going to be coming off of a high from Vandy. And it
Mhm,
goes back to what I was saying, the cockiness, like, oh, we have the potential to beat them type.
for
But
sure. I mean, I think it'll be
I
close. I think we pull it out, but we'll see.
And then November 19th, we have Tennessee. And I remember watching the entire game last year at Beach Weekend on my phone the entire time, just watching the game and yelling at it. I was so upset at our performance. I was like, what are, couldn't do anything about it, but just get upset at the TV. I
Yeah,
hope we win, though. I hope we win.
Charlotte Carolina football. That was one of the worst. That was one of the worst I've ever watched. That Jordan Birch like pass. I turned it off after that.
I turned it off halfway through too, and then I've like turned it back on for the fourth quarter. But still, I was like, I cannot watch this right now. Like this is really upsetting. But we don't know. This is another one of those teams I think like Kentucky that can be one of the teams that we can easily beat, and we just need to be in the right mindset,
For sure, for
which
sure.
hopefully will happen. And then last but not least, which I'm very excited about, always excited about,
Hope I'm wrong.
Clemson, Clemson, Clemson.
Some 8 years in a row, can't make it to double digits.
That's so true. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's even more of a reason, just besides the fact that like we can't lose to Clemson.
I don't know if they had come out playing like they did. I don't think I feel like DJ Ukulele won't be. I think they'll start that K Klubnik kid. He's like a 5 star. He's really good quarterback they got. So I mean, I think they might have like some turnover on their team in terms of who they're playing at that point. But who knows? I mean, it's just a wait and see type thing.
But
But
that's where I kind of was going.
yeah,
You said L, I said W, but that's like really more of my reasoning was because of the fact that the whole program was kind of.
no doubt. I just feel like last year. I don't even know why. I feel like we had. I mean, obviously, I feel like we had a chance last year just because they had gotten beat
I
earlier.
did too, though. But exactly why. That's exactly why.
Supposed to lose like 30-0. It just kind of sucked. Like a lot of like the sucked a lot of the momentum we had out, and then I don't know.
We were all.
I'm trying not just like get too high or too low when it comes to Clemson. I mean, it's the reality. We've watched them like 8 years in a row. So for us, it's just we got to at least play them competitively. I don't know. We can't lose 30-0 in our home stadium. So, but
That is true. That is true.
at least
That
this
was
year
really freaking
I have a
embarrassing. That's a slap in the face.
for sure. So again, I hope I'm wrong, but we'll see.
I want I want them to win. I want us to win so bad. My senior year, this is my last Clemson game ever.
Yeah,
So if we don't win, that'll be really sad. But all right. So we just went through the whole football schedule and with that, I am going to wrap this up, Ford. I will see you next week. Everybody
Sure.
else, you'll see us next week.
Yep.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.